and welcome back to the finish line and episode 11 of our Cheltenham Festival Ante-Post selections. Another day, another hour, another minute closer to the greatest show on turf. 4 weeks yesterday. Cannot wait. Joined by Sean and Tom as always. Dave is on the missing list this weekend, but I have his horse that he's going to put up. Gents, are we getting excited about Cheltenham yet?
Oh yeah, I've been getting giddy since we finished that Dublin Racing Festival. I'm not going to lie, I'm getting quite jiggy about the Cheltenham Festival now. Only 4 weeks away, as you said, and it'll roll in now. Preview in 2 weeks' time, and then we're basically there, aren't we?
Friday, 2 weeks. Friday the what?
Third, I think it is.
Hey, look, this is it. Friday the 3rd of March, 8 o'clock, live on YouTube. Get the beer in, get the wine in, put the kids to bed, lock the doors. It's going to be 2 to 3 hours of absolute mayhem, as always. But anyway, Tom, you're looking forward to it. You have to be. The soft is going to be running the Martin Pipe. He's going to be running the Martin Pipe after Saturday anyway, so you do that.
The only thing for me is obviously, as everybody knows now, I'm away for it. I'm at a wedding abroad. So
God, now here's the dilemma. That wedding better be called off if he wins on Saturday. Tom, how often are you ever going to have a horse? And if he wins on Saturday, just he going to have a chance in the Mountain Pipe?
Tom, this is the dream. Like, you've 4 horses to run at Cheltenham. You can't miss this.
This is why you started Pimlico Racing. It's for the Cheltenham dream. And the dream is alive. The dream is right in front of you. It's 4 weeks away.
4 weeks away. I'd say it's a 1 in 100.
Excuse the proliferous, but after the wedding, you'll still be there forever. You'll see them. You might never see a Pimlico horse turn up on Gold Cup Day in the Martin Pipe, lining up in front, taking them along. Look, I'm selling the dream.
Wow.
You have Michael O'Sullivan on the back of him, taking a valuable tree, not very valuable, stealing tree off his back, cruising, coming down the hill. Nothing else is coming from the back.
Oh, stop on the steel, Tom. Coming up the hill.
On the snaff. Takes a cheeky look between his legs.
You're getting about, I'd say, a stone ahead of yourself right now. That's all you're getting is about a stone ahead of yourself. We'll calm down and look, Zoff could win any race now. I would
see. He can win any race. Gold Cup, win Gold Cup. Any race. You heard it first from the horse's mouth. Any race he could win.
But no, I am looking forward to it. But yeah, that wedding is in the way of the Thursday. But no, it should be good. I've kind of got plans either side. Paddy's Day's on Friday, so that's a day in the pub over there. So that's all clear. Yeah, it should be all right. But yeah, it just does take the edge off it, knowing I'm not going to be sitting down watching all of it. Poor me. Spending 2 weeks.
Poor you, Tom.
I'm sure, Tom. I'm sure if you what day is the wedding on?
Thursday.
I'm sure if you left Wednesday evening, they would
forgive
you.
Listen, Tom, if Wednesday evening goes the correct way and a certain horse comes in the champion bumper, I know one thing that you should be doing is get the next flight out of there straight back to Cheltenham.
I'll meet you in Cheltenham then, Sean.
Tuxedo still on you from the wedding. Who cares?
Yeah. I won't lie, I have looked at it. There are options available, but we'll dream another year, I think.
I go into the toilet, Siobhan. We'll be back in 2 days. Anyway, we're getting excited now. We're here to another selection for Ante-Post selections. Tom is going to go through his when he gives his next selection. But Sean, what is your 11th selection for the Cheltenham Festival?
Yeah, at this stage, I think all the big races, there's not much to be found in there. So I'm going to take a dip back into the handicaps here. And I think I might have found one at a nice little each way price that would definitely have a great chance if we went here. And it's going to be in the Coral Cup, and it's going to be Irish Point for Gordon Elliott at 16-1 each way. He was given an NGRS.
I think he's a bit highly rated. He's in Zoff's race there at the weekend. He's got 148. I thought that was fairly high.
Yeah, I think he was sent in there to see if he got the Martin Pipe, and he didn't. And I don't know if they're going to go back to get Ballymore, but we'll touch on it now in a second, Tom. He was given an entry, as Tom said, and he was given a mark of 148. It was only a pound higher. Oh, sorry, it was £5 higher than his Irish mark. So that rules him out of Martin Pipe, as I said, which is a 0 to 145, and leaves him with the alternative of the Coral Cup. I think the Ballymore is looking a competitive race and already haven't been beaten by Champ Coyley. I don't know if they're going to want to go back and take on them with even better caliber horses in there, like Imperial Passe, Hermes Allen, and potentially Gaelic Warrior. I think that run in the Lawlers and Ace was very good. He was only 2 lengths off Champ Coyley, and he was only run down to be beaten by Marine National in the Royal Bond. So we see good grade 1 form there. Also, the race at Nace was 2.5 miles. The Coral Cup is 2 miles 5. And I don't think he was stopping. I don't think he'd have a problem with the trip. He was then ran at the DRF over 2 miles where he couldn't go to gallop and on the ground. I think he was just wheel spinning. That wasn't the real him for me. He just couldn't get near that race at all. And the trainers last year, same trainer and owners, ran St. Felician off 149. So he is a pound lower than that. So I wonder if they really are looking at this after picking up the mark the weekend. And as I said, coming second in 2 grade 1s this season, I think he'd definitely be step back up and trip. And I think if he was to go here, he'd be bang up the top of the market. And Irish Point at 16 to 1, the Coral Cup. It's going to be my pick this week.
Irish Point at 16 to 1. Right, so I just text Dave there to make sure I had the horse right for his selection. So he is putting up Salvador Ziggy for the Pertemps at 9 to 1, trained by Gordon Elliott. That's all he gave me. I have no explanation behind it whatsoever. So he'll go into more detail on that on Sunday. So my 11th selection is going in the county hurdle, and it is Filey Bay at 8 to 1. Obviously second to Auckland Risk the last week in the Beffa hurdle. I thought he ran a very nice race. He ran on that off 133. He's had been put up £4 to 137. Now the thing with him, that was only his 3rd run for Emmett Mullins and only his 5th run over hurdles. I think there's a hell of a lot more to come from this horse. 137, I think, is kind of leaving with a bit more to work with. I think the racing on his own away from Auckland Risk did him no favours. I don't think he would have won either. I don't think he was kind of unlucky. I just think he needs to learn a bit more, and I think that race will do him no harm whatsoever. He was 2 from 2 before he came into that. He was trained by Declan Wall before he even went to Emmett. So the amount of improvement might well just not have stopped yet. And we know what Emma Mullins can do with these kind of horses. He done it with was it Statler? Is that his name? Not Statler. That's the Shunter. What's the word? Statler? It's Willie's horse. The Shunter. He done this before with a horse like that, and he's been doing it ever since he started training with a handicap horse like this. If you go through the last 5 winners of the county hurdle, you had State Man who won off 141, Belfast Banter 129, St. Wah 137, the same mark here, Chitabella 146 and 139. He's in and around the right mark to be being very, very competitive in this. He's 8 to 1. I think he goes there with a right good chance, and in a race like this, I think he has a massive chance at 8 to 1. I think he could take a bit of beating if the progression continues. Right, Tom, on to you. We start with your next selection, and then we will go through your Ante-Post book, which is looking quite nice right now.
It's not the worst. We'll start with this week. This week, I'm going to go with Magic Days in the Mare's Chase. I'm going to go each way on Magic Days. She's a mare that looked very promising at the start of her career. She was second in the Mare's Novice Hurdle behind Tell Me Something Girl, Cheltenham Festival form tick. She was way too keen in the Arca last year. She got beat 62 lengths, just way, way too keen for her own good. What I liked in Nace the last day was the way she went a good gallop, but she settled. She wasn't mentally keen. She just, as Puppy Power said afterwards, you have to let her get on with it. And you do. And Rachel let her get on with it, but she didn't bolt anywhere. I thought she jumped really well. Dino Blue came to her and she put her head down and she went on and she was going away again at the line. Sean, you said you hadn't had the Rolex out at this one, but I know a few of us have, and the times are very, very good. I think the only one you can compare it with is a horse like Billaway or something, but I know he's a Fremont chaser. But what they said anyway is the time is very good. Dino Blue, I think that form is pretty decent. I think she'd look very good. She only got beat 3 lengths by Impervious. She's got beaten 3 1/4 here by Magic Days. So on a straight line of form, there's maybe not too much between them. I think Impervious or Allegory Devassi may be better than Magic Days. I think one of those two will be better than her. But you're getting 10-1, or you're actually getting 12-1 each way, and you're just buying yourself an each way winner at bigger odds than the front two in the market. If you have a look at the Ante-Post market on Betfair, it tells a story. The bookmakers' odds are a lot shorter, but it's Impervious and Allegory Devassi, and then it's 10 about Jeremy's Flame, 10 about Magic Days, and 34 the rest of the field. So if you look at that, I'm very happy to be back in Magic Days each way at 12-1. I think it's a hell of a price. I could see her being 6-1 on the day, and yeah, I'm very keen on it.
Yeah, I actually had her down for my next selection, but it was the one thing which only put me off was the extra 4.5 furlongs. That scares me with a horse like her.
No, I don't know. I think it should be all right. I think the way she put her head down and really stayed onto the line, I think she'll keep going. And it's one of these that if you're backing her each way at 12s, you've only got to get her in the first three to get your winner. That's how I'm looking at it anyway.
Yeah.
I've got to get her in the first three to get a winner. So.
Yeah. And I just saw Sean do this and this. He must have realised that Jack Grealish just scored.
I have. Tom, in case you didn't know, Tom, why I don't have the times is because I was actually over watching the match, and we drew that one, and now we're losing, Tom. It just gets better and better as we go along, let me tell you that.
Classic Arsenal thing to just absolutely throw it in the bin.
Thanks,
4 weeks ago, they had it in the bag, Tom. No one was catching them.
Yeah, going to win the league and all that,
yeah. Right. Now, we obviously, myself, Sean, and Dave went over Ante-Post elections last week. I left one out from myself and Dave. I can't remember which Dave won. I left out Brandy Love for the Mayor's Hurdle. I also put her up at 6-1, I think she was, and she's now 92, which makes no difference because she is alive, but God only knows where she's going to run.
I think the whole world seems to know that Brandy Love didn't work very well at Nice the other day. Everyone was texting me about it. I was getting voice notes and everything of that.
God love her. Anyway, she probably won't win now anyway.
She probably got, and she's been sold to the Donnellys apparently.
Yeah.
Random one. I wonder if he's getting out of a few horses. Your man Gretsch, a strange one that she's been sold now.
They're trying to start the bloodline and all that jazz.
Hmm.
Right, Tom. We are going to go through your selections now. You put up first one you put up was Dysart Dynamo for the Arkle 16s, now 7-1.
Yeah, I'm fairly happy with that. I think, we put them up at 16. The start of these are always hard, as you'll tell by the next two. But Dysart Dynamo, anyway, I'm fairly happy with him. I think he's got his chance. I think El Fabiolo looks solid, and John Bon was a bit rusty the other day, but I wouldn't be too worried about that. But yeah, he's got his chance. I'd be happy if I was on the 16s anyway. Put that way.
Yeah, I think he has a great chance. I think the actual drop-in trip from what he ran in Dublin Race Festival is going to suit him probably more than El Fabiolo. Right, we're going to move on to good old garlic bread. Albert Bartlett, Novice Ireland, 20-1. He's not running in it now.
I got Willie Mullins here, and it is never, ever, ever happening again. I laugh at people who do this and listen to stuff that they're told. And I got dragged into it, and I don't know how. I don't know why. I think I was desperate for selection. He's not going to run the Albert Bar.
Yeah, listen, Tom, I think we got out there the Dublin Race Festival with him, but didn't we?
Yeah, we got it back at the Dublin Race Festival, so that's okay.
Next one, Tell Me Something Girl, Turner's Novice Chase, 25-1, now a non-runner. I think you were drunk this day.
Can't jump. I know everyone laughs about that one. I put this in the group the other day, this screenshot, and the lads ripped the piss at me. I was like, this is not too bad at all. But the one everyone comes back to is Tell Me Something Girl. The theory behind this was that if she could jump well, and Henry's form of doing it as well before, that if the Turners ended up a 5-runner race, which it could, it's probably not going to this year. But if it was going to end up a 5-runner race, he could just chuck her in there and give her a chance. But yeah, she didn't really take to fences, did she? Unfortunately,
She did. She took him with her.
yeah, didn't work out.
Right, next one. I put her up for the Mayor's Chase. Two of us were Henry the Bromhead. Did. One of very few Henry the Bromhead horses that cannot jump a fence. Right, next we're moving on. Magical Zoe, Mayor's Novice Hurdle, 12s, now 10s.
Yeah, I still think there's a bit of juice in that price. You go back and look at her form. I'm not going to be able to put it up now, but a lot of that has worked out. A lot of those horses in behind her have run well and placed or won decent races this season. So, and I think she was miles the best that day. They're saving her for the better ground. He's going to go straight there. I've no problem with that. And Henry can get a horse ready for Cheltenham if he wants to. I think she's got a hell of a chance. She can be ridden the right way. She can be held up and ridden steady. She still looked green the last day, and miles the best horse in the race. I'm really, really keen on her. I think if there's one on this list, I'd back again now at the current prices as her.
Yeah, you just touched on the one worry I have with her is the greenness and the lack of experience.
Look, she's got that to overcome, but it's still a Mayor's Novice Hurdle. We've seen horses run well in that off few runs before. It's not a Gold Cup or a Champion Hurdle. So
yeah,
I think
besides that, I can't fault it besides that part. Right, next we're moving on to Blue Lord, Ryanair Chase. This got a lot better this week since the defection of Allaho. Was 20s, now into 7-2.
I love it when a good plan comes together. And a good plan came together. I was worried about the plan. I was very worried about the plan when he bolted up at Christmas. He did. Now, I was slightly concerned about the plan as well at the Dublin Race Festival. When he didn't run his race. I thought there were a few Willie Mullins. Willie got away with it because he had so many runners and could back it up. But a few of his didn't run top notch, and this was one of them. It now very much looks as though they're going to go for the Ryanair. The thing with this bet was always if Allaho didn't turn up. Allaho now isn't turning up, and you're sitting on a 20-1 shot that's now 7-2, kind of joint favourite. So yeah, I think he's got a cracking chance if he can bounce back from the Dublin Race Festival. Which, if any man can get him back, it's Willie Mullins. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, he's a cracking chance on that. Next, we are moving on to Allegory de Vassi for the Mayor's Chase. Was 4-1. You put her up, now 7-4.
Yeah, I think she's got a hell of a chance. I think she's the most talented horse in that race. I know I just put up Magic Days, but I think I've explained that we're trying to get the each way money there in a week and off each way race with some of them that are much bigger prices. But at the head of the market, it looks like shootout between Impervious and Allegory de Vassi. And I know she can jump right, but I'm happy to stick with her.
You do enjoy a Rich Ritchie horse that jumps out to the right. It's your kind of forte these days.
I can find them anyway, can't I, somehow? I don't know.
Speaking of horses who jump out to the right, Gaelic Warrior, Ballymore Novice Hurdle, your second stab at garlic bread this season. 12s is now 5-1.
This sickens me. This horse is rated, 153 now or something. And 10 months ago, 10 months ago from when he got that mark, on 11 months ago, whatever it is, the fucking thing got beat off 129.
Brilliant. You're not after getting over it by any chance, Annie, have you?
Not a hope am I over it. That would have been, I think it would have been my record win, or near enough to anyway. It was worth a lot of money at big prices. And he managed to get himself beat ahead or whatever it was, or a short head off 129. Just shows you, lads, anything can happen in horse racing. I think he's got his chance. Would I back him? I'm worried about the jumping right thing. I think he jumps straight.
He has no choice but to jump straight.
He jumped straight when he had something on his outside, and when he was going relatively fast in a pack. I've no problem that he's going to jump straight throughout the race. And then, to be fair, if you jump right at the last, you're still probably going to have a few lengths up your sleeve to be able to do it. I can see him being brought straight over to the stands. When they turn in, I think he'll be brought over straight over to the stands area, which they normally finish up, to be fair. So look, maybe I'm talking myself into it. Maybe it won't hinder him too much.
Do you know what he needs? He needs a Ruby Walsh to come out of retirement and do a York Hill on him.
Yeah. I would love to see Ruby on this horse. I won't lie. Yeah, I think he'd give him a peach, wouldn't he? But yeah,
that's what if he has any chance to win that, which I think he would have a great chance if he wanted a fucking fruitcake, was literally gloom to the rail for as long as you can and jump the last upside something, and then let him down.
Yeah, I can see him jumping straight when he's on the inside, and two of them come up sides because he doesn't want to get in front, jumping the last, and he puts the other horse into the Guinness Village as he comes across the last. I can honestly see that happening. But look, if it was me riding him, it's definitely not. I'd stick him down the inside, a horse on his outside. I'd make my challenge come into last, and I'd be over at that rail. I'd let him jump into it and carry on. But there's enough question marks in there, though, isn't there? But if you got on at 12s, happy days.
No horses were harmed in the preview of this race. Three Stripe Life, unfortunately, is no longer with us. You put him up for the Brown Advisory, 12s, and obviously dead.
Poor thing. I was so excited about him at the start of the season. He was the one horse I was, well, not the one horse, but he was the horse I was most excited about coming into this year. Such a horrible side of things. Yeah.
The Piece de Resistance. The one that Sean said turned into Rihanna overnight on Twitter, and the one that probably turned you more into John McConnell overnight on Twitter. It's for me, Champion Bumper, 25s now, 7-2, favourite.
How did you get this one, Tom?
So how I feel about this one is I feel like I was kind of the Sir Alex Ferguson stood there just orchestrating things in the background. And Sean was Ronaldo. Sean scored the goal. He did all the hard work. And then after the match, they come to Ferguson and they're like, what a great player Ronaldo is. And I'm like, oh, he's wonderful. He's wonderful. I just offer a bottle of wine. That's exactly how I felt about this.
Technically, that should be me because I'm the one that bought him onto the team. I'm the one that scouted him. I'm the one that then put him on the pitch. You're more like the Fred of the team. You're the one just standing there and looking at
him. You're more like the Sporting Lisbon manager who then sold him because you had no faith in him. And then he came to United. I'm Ferguson. I had faith in Sean. And I backed Sean's opinion. I didn't laugh at him. I didn't call him it's for God knows what. I said, yes, Sean.
It's not for me.
It's not for me. Or as Dave says, a yak and a bumper.
A yak and a bumper, yeah.
See, I wasn't as down. I didn't down it as much as Dave did, now, in fairness.
Would you stop? You were sat there rolling your eyes at the fucking thing and everything.
I was running around fields, running around clocks. They don't matter. It doesn't matter, Tom, you know?
Hey, do you know what the thing is, though? Still hasn't won yet.
100%. He still has to go and win. But let Tom touch on that.
He hasn't won, but I think this tops any of the Ante-Post ones we've ever had.
Yeah. Well, we had some good ones in the early days, Tom.
I love the Plutarch. He was class, 25s into 13 day, and he got.
We had Album Photo 20s before he won the Gold Cup.
Yeah, I can't remember. There's another one that I had that was pretty good.
Garlic
Bread last year, 10s into bloody 13 day or whatever it was. Chin to short.
Well, I had Monkfish 10s into 8 to 13 on.
And one, I think, is the difference there.
Correct.
I'm due one of these to go and win now at this stage, and I'm going to be fairly deflated if this doesn't go and win. This is the all-time. I think this is one of the all-time winning most bets as well if he goes and wins. So, fair play, Sean, and fair play.
No problem, Tom.
Fair play to the guys who helped me get the money on us.
You're welcome. If he wins, you have to get a tattoo of the Sil Sean on you.
Oh, Jesus.
A double green.
Listen, Dave has a double green scarf, and I promise I'm taking it if he wins.
And I honestly, just on the horse, I honestly think he's an airplane. I think he's an absolute good thing for that bumper.
Nah, he's a very good horse. He's a very good machine. Right, last one. 3-car brag. Albert Bartlett novices chase. It's not a chase. It's the hurdle, Andrew. Excuse that. It's 10s and now 8s.
Yeah, I think he's got a hell of a chance as well. I really think that's the right race for him. Looks like he's crying out for a step up and trip. Even the last day, like he had to make his own run and he had to be just codded along. I think he's a perfect horse for that race because they've dropped the bridle. And yeah, I think 8-1 still is a fair price. I'd back him again at 8-1 as well. I'm really sweet on him. He'll be my selection for that race.
Yeah, I agree with you. I really, really like him as well. Right, that is Ante-Post series selection number 11 done and dusted. Sean is down the dumps because Arsenal are getting bet 3-1 and all that jazz.
Yeah.
How the mighty have fallen in 2 weeks. But anyway, that is us done. We are back on again on Sunday with another episode. Oh, go on, Tom.
We've one more Ante-Post show left, do we, next week? And then the following week we're into Cheltenham preview night.
It's into silly season.
Yeah, wow.
Into silly season. We are getting DMs every second hour asking us to come on shows and do a Cheltenham Festival preview. So we had to try to sort out things and
we're doing a few, are we?
Yeah, I have a few people asking us, so I just need to sit down and sort out what dates everyone is free if we can do them, and if we can't do them, we try to do them all. Like we're not going to say no.
I get the names of the shows mixed up, and you were talking to us about doing one, and I got a message on Twitter, and I presumed it was that person. It's not. It's something.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. But yeah, look, it's silly season. We love it. We can't wait. But anyway, we're back on Sunday with another episode of Talking Pints. And as Tom said, next week is our last Ante-Post show until we get stuck into the actual Cheltenham Festival preview. So until then, I was going to say, enjoy the weekend, Tom, but you can't really enjoy it because you're going to be too nervous. You're going to be too drunk, and you're going to be an emotional wreck. So until then, Tom might be here Sunday. Who knows? Until then, we will see you on Sunday.